Hey, this is George, and this is Real Talk with George and Frazier. Frazier will be joining us shortly, but we definitely have a banger for you today. Um, a real banger. I know a lot of times we say that, and a lot of times you really like to deliver, but today we have bare knuckle fighting championship champion Lorenzo The Juggernaut Hunt is going to be on the show. Frazier is going to be logging on shortly, and I am your host and co-host with Fraser, obviously, George Bowley. Hope everybody's doing well today. The last day in November. Hope everybody got some good holiday shopping and discount savings in done. Um, and as we go into December, I just want to say that we will actually only be doing um, two shows this month due to the holidays. So I think the week of going into December 15th, just to check my schedule, will be our last show, and then we will be off for Christmas and New Year's this year. Um, we're not going to try to do a New Year's special like we did last year. It was just a little bit too complicated and cumbersome on our end. Uh, that we may do something special in January. Not sure yet. You just got to stay tuned. That being said, what other news is out there that we're looking at? Oh, yeah, something dear to my heart. And everybody's talking about this new Omicron. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Virus that's out there. Like I said on this show, my concern had always been when and how this virus is going to mutate. If it does, and it looks like it has mutated to something that's very serious, and I would ask everybody, regardless of what your beliefs is, to take this virus serious. If you believe in the vaccine and the vaccine can protect you from death, then please get the vaccine. If you don't believe in the vaccine um, and think that your body can handle it, I respect that, but please wear your mask. Um, that's all anybody can ask. Even if you've been vaccinated, I'm asking you to still wear your mask because you can transmit the virus. You can get it and transmit the virus to somebody else. So, what science is looking at right now, and what science is telling us, and that's all that we have, is um, people who have been vaccinated. You've heard of breakthrough cases or quote unquote breakout cases where they caught COVID again, you know. But now in this particular space, before when the vaccine first came out, it said it would stop you from getting COVID. But we found out that that wasn't possible. The virus was too strong. So now you can get COVID even if you've been vaccinated, but you're not going to get all the symptoms that you have, and there's a good chance you won't die from it this time if you get it. And to me, that is the most important thing that you want to think about for those of us that have COVID and have gone through that whole thing. I don't wish that on anybody, you know. Um, being one step away from going to the hospital, being put on a ventilator. I don't wish that on anybody. So if there's this vaccine will prevent that from happening, I definitely hope that you think about it and make the right decisions for you and your family, like I have. There's nothing really to be afraid about it. Just stay up, stay in the know, and just do the simple stuff. Wear a mask if you really care about yourself and if you really care about your loved ones. Um, that's just a simple solution. Make sure you wash your hands um, thoroughly and just be vigilant. Just be vigilant. What else are we in the news? Oh, yes, crypto market is making a rebound. Had a rough week. December has notoriously been rough for crypto market, but it looks like just from my holdings, we're going to be doing what happened in 2007, where we might have a double bounce, which would take us into a double peak, should I say, which should take us into 2022, which is good. you know. Um, so just think about that. Those of you that are invested in crypto, just think about that and think about um, how that has helped you and your family um, earn money and raise money. Um, so it's definitely a good thing that we are into, especially in this cryptocurrency market. Let me see what else can I talk about here. Wow, everybody logs on. Those were actually my two topics that I wanted to talk about, believe it or not. And then I got stuck. So let me see. Well, I didn't get stuck. I just ran out of two topics. Um, oh, that's interesting. The new Republic of Barbados names Rihanna national hero after removing Queen Elizabeth. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I think the people of Barbados should actually do how they see fit, and that's based on two reasons. One, um, for so long, people have been stuck and the British Empire has been stuck, as their subjects. In every place that they conquered, they subjugated the people that were there. So now, for them to be able to take back their identity is actually a great thing to see. So hold on 1 minute. We have Frage popping in. How you doing, brother?
What's up, brother?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Mr. Juggernaut, I see you. I see you in the dashboard, just waiting for you to get ready. When you give me a thumbs up, we'll be ready to go. Um, Frage, how's it going?
Oh, it's going good, man. You know me, I'm just doing some thing with the computer camera. It's killing me. And trying something new, it kills me every time, man. Every time something new hits me.
I see you. I see you, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Juggernaut in the heezy with us.
You
Welcome
What's
got
to
to
up,
get a
George.
champ.
everybody? What's up, everybody? Sorry
You got to
about
get
that.
a
Let me
champ.
put my coffee
Put
down.
a champ for his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's up, man?
Man, I
What's
They
up,
better,
brother?
they better put some respect on it.
Exactly. Put some respect on the champ name.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
we're
All
doing
right,
great.
right.
Listen, sir, we appreciate you taking the time, man, and coming on the show with us and talk a little bit.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get it just right. I don't know what's going on. Right is left, left is right. How
Yeah,
y'all
it's
doing today?
definitely all
Y'all
good,
caught me
man.
while I was at work, so I had to break away and come on and do this interview. I forgot about it.
Well, good.
Oh
We
man,
definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you coming
definitely
on.
appreciate it.
You know, being the champion, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, man, we wait on
No,
you,
I
man.
wish it was true. I wish it was true. I still got to work like everybody else.
I feel
Absolutely,
you. I feel you.
absolutely. So tell us about your journey, and the fans don't know about you, about your journey into
Oh.
fighting and then bare knuckle fighting.
Give me 1 sec. Let me try to set that up. I got a little assistance.
Okay,
Let me see. I don't know if that's how it works. Hold on, I got a little stand. Give me 1 second.
nice. I see you rocking the belt on the shoulder. We definitely respect that.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
If it'll stay. Yeah, that's nice. All right. Yeah, I got it. All right. Sorry about that.
No doubt.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really an amazing story, and I'd like to put it down in a book one day. But the short version is I was blessed with amazing parents. Both of them are fire, pure fire. My dad is super calm, but he's such a technician that it turns into fire, such a disciplinarian. My mom, she's all fire. Oh my God. Like when she walks through, everybody moves. She's got the shoulders, she's got the legs, I basically got my mom's muscle and my dad's skeleton.
Nice, nice,
so
nice.
so in all honesty, like I just raised by a beautiful, black couple, just struggled through it all, stuck together and I just watched. I was a little bright-eyed kid with my thumb in my mouth, and I just watched two juggernauts fight the whole world back to back. And I just basically learned how to fight and never give up just from watching them fight, never give up.
Nice.
So naturally, you know, my father, he liked me a little bit, you know. So so he you know, I'm the firstborn, I'm the oldest, so he like put all of, you know, the discipline, the disciplinary arts, the martial arts, and we worked it all out. And he just made me a solid character, you know, morals, values, you know. He made me be accountable for every little thing, you know.
Right.
And it just grew. I just grew up that way. I never smoked, never drank, never really partied, got no wild stories, never did drugs. I don't really have, I just rolled it out. I found my safe place and I literally rolled it out. It became my identity to be the fastest, the strongest. You know what I mean? I broke all the records in high school, all of the weightlifting records. I was always the fastest. I was always the strongest. Matter of fact, the name Juggernaut actually came from high school, you know, football and shit like that. They just was like,
Nice.
bro, it's like he's running downhill, you know?
Right.
Nice.
And so it just stuck. Like I said, I've always been like that. If they didn't call me the Juggernaut, they used to call me Red Ranger from the Power Rangers.
Red Ranger.
That just was my personality. And I had to pick. It was either Juggernaut or Red Ranger.
Juggernaut win.
I went with the Juggernaut.
Nice.
So,
Oh god.
so yeah, so there you go. And then, so for me to transition to Florida, I came from Ohio. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I got out of that madness and came to Florida, and I brought all my you know, my discipline with me, and I started teaching in St. Augustine. I actually was towing cars, doing like repo and emergency roadside service. I like helping people more than taking people's stuff, so I just started doing emergency roadside service, and from there I started doing self-defense and teaching self-defense, you know, because I already knew it. I was already the man, you know. A job arose where I could teach women self-defense. As the women's self-defense instructor out there in St. Augustine, little town, the girls started to be funny to sign me up for a fight. Because they're like, he you know, he thinks he's bad, you know, we're gonna sign him up for the fight. They signed me up for a charity event fight to fight some black belt guy. If you look it up, one of my first fights, the first amateur MMA fight, and I knocked this guy slap out like he hit the ground like a fish. Right. It was in the newspaper because this guy he was established. He had a school, everybody knew him, and I clobbered. I'm talking about clobbered him across his jaw with the right hand. It's on YouTube under Rumble in the Ancient City.
Okay. Rumble Ancient got a title and everything to it. Rumble in the Ancient City.
Bro. Yeah. When I smacked him, it was like nobody had never seen nothing like that before.
Right.
It was in the newspaper. When I got home that Sunday, it was on my front porch. Like it was in the newspaper. Big sports page. Like, look at this. It was perfect. And so it was a charity event. A lot of money went to charity. And I just kept doing it. And I literally just steamrolled Florida's amateur MMA circuit as a charity fighter. I was a little older than everybody else, you know, in the game. So I just rolled it out as a hobby, you know, and to legitimize my art. You know, this is stuff I already knew that I carried from a child, you know. So legitimize myself as a teacher and as a martial artist, I just kept fighting. These MMA guys, you know, MMA is kind of, you know, new to me. I'm a little older. I'm 39 now. Right. This was about maybe 8-9 years ago. So I wasn't too old when I first started, but I was older than most kids getting into MMA. Yeah. Right. And so my mom was behind me. My dad was behind me. Everybody knew. Even though I was older, I'm say 33, I probably was 23 inside because I never partied. I never, you know, I went to bed early. I never got into the life. So I'm just young at heart. I'm just a, you know, a big kid at heart. So I just kept doing it. And the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, a lot of charities, the breast cancer awareness, I would just let them have all the money. They would come behind me and kept pushing me. And like I said, I basically steamrolled amateur MMA. I was like 9-1 as an amateur before the pros started looking. Like, hey, you want to fight pro? You want to fight pro? I switched to pro MMA, and it was basically the same story until the guys figured out I couldn't wrestle.
Right.
Oh,
Once they figured out I wasn't too good at jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
like guys just started diving at my feet, just rolling, crawling across at me, which kind of slowed down my MMA career, which is why you never saw me in the UFC, is because I never trained as a wrestler as a kid. Never, it wasn't a big thing. I mean, Ohio, they got wrestling and stuff like that, but it never was a big thing for me and my family. We're more like football, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And then just once they started toe hold in
Right.
and finger breaking and twist arm locking, and it got weird. So I had won about my first 5, my first 3 or 4 pro MMA fights, knockouts, just more clean knockouts. Matter of fact, the HOF had called me a one-trick pony.
Right.
When I looked to get signed by a pro MMA show, they were like, "You're a one-trick pony. You know, you knock everybody out. You know, oh, you know that's okay. You know, that's all you know how to do." So they didn't sign me. But once the high-level wrestlers started to figure it out, like, bro, you better duck and you better not let go. And that's how I started running into trouble in MMA. We got high-level wrestlers, high-level jiu-jitsu guys, black belts, third-degree black belt jiu-jitsu guys. They would grab my feet and how they way with me.
Right. Right.
You know? But then, right as I reached that point where I was like, okay, that's enough. Prove my point. Unless I'm willing to spend thousands of dollars and retrain myself as a jiu-jitsu master at 37, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might go ahead and get out of here, I'll just, hope in my school and teach what I know and just be a, striking predominant person. Bare knuckle became legal. And my manager reached out to me, Daryl Hatchett. He still does some MMA stuff. He's not my manager anymore, but at the time he was, and he reached out to me and he said, how do you feel about bare knuckle? I know you light skinned, kind of a pretty boy. I don't think there's nothing you'd be interested in. Which now that I look back at it, that probably was a little psychology in there, He
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Sign me up. So I went out there and I fought in Cheyenne, Wyoming on the Indian reservation, for Dada 5000. Shout out BYB. And he gave me my first shot at bare knuckle, and it was another sensational slaptastic knockout. You can find that on YouTube too. Guy came after me, and I went back old school karate, blocking and chopping. And everybody was like, "What? What is that?" And then I knocked him slap out, and they was like, the rest is history. I went after the bare knuckle contract for David Feldman. When they started doing those tryouts, the first place they slammed down was Florida because it was already pretty big here.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dada and Kimbo Slice and all the work that those guys had put in already. And then next thing you know, Juggernaut's on the scene. Next biggest thing in Florida. And there's people who try to say, oh, yeah, they don't know who I was. And like Hector is saying, he doesn't know who I was. Man, come on. Yeah, I've been literally traveling state to state to state as they open up, smashing their strongest guys in fantastic fashion. There's no way you didn't know who I was. No way. Not getting into bare knuckle, not getting into my weight class, not coming into this circuit, knowing that there's this guy that's been here since it got legal, and he's been smashing everybody they put in front of. There's no way you didn't know.
Yeah, he probably knew. He didn't want to know.
Well, the thing is about, the thing about professional fighting is sometimes these fighters have to hype everything up. Oh, who's that? Right. Who's this? Who's that? The thing about what you're saying about MMA fighters now is the fact that a lot of them are fighting for checks. I don't know if you saw Frank Mir get knocked out this past weekend, and Rampage is supposed to be fighting Briggs, and all
the fight, man.
And you had what's this boy named Woodley fighting this YouTube kid, and all this stuff.
Yep.
It's just money and showcase now. It has nothing really to do with skill, so to speak.
It's actually sad.
Yes.
It's actually sad because they have to do that after all them years of giving all their youth away and all their notoriety way. It's not like they just started fighting for checks.
Mm-hmm.
They were fighting for money the whole time, but they didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else got it. Somebody who never threw a punch. And honestly, that's not right. That these guys have to fish around for fights in their 40s and late 40s and try to make, try to make a couple bucks when that's really on the responsibility of the promoters and the managers and everybody who's grabbing when the iron is hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make sure that these guys are going to be all right when they get older. Then they could have stepped gracefully into management positions or commentator positions, or you know what I mean, instead of being out there getting bopped on your head at 48.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
I mean, look, that's one of the biggest problems. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but that's one of the biggest problems with the UFC right now. The UFC, about 8 fighters have sued them. It's a $1 billion lawsuit that they've had based on their contracts because the UFC had those contracts and still has those contracts where it's either by time or by fight. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to get in the UFC because they don't want to go to these shows where you're getting $50 a fight or you're getting no money to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least with the UFC, you getting a check, even if it's 15,000, 5,000 to show up, 5,000 to win. You know what I mean? It's real money to them. Let me ask you, how different has bare knuckle been? Because I know that bare knuckle has been a struggle. I know it got legalized in Europe first before it came back here, really just to say, hey, bare knuckle, they talk about it way back in the 1800s as that's what it was before it was boxing, so to speak. And I think that that's how they got it legalized so fast when they went back and said, hey, this law is still on the books here as far as bare knuckle fighting, so to speak.
Right.
How is that promotion helping you and helping fighters deal with what you talked about when it comes to getting those checks and making sure that you're taken care of? Because these are bare knuckles. It's different than boxing. Let me tell everybody, it's different than boxing from what I've seen, and it's definitely different than MMA. These knuckles, man, look, y'all keep it.
Well, first and foremost, I like to say, shout out to David Feldman, shout out to Bare Knuckle for all the work that they're putting in. There is some pension talks in the work. There is some the higher levels, the higher uppers are trying to put together things to make it better. Now, I will say, as far as bare knuckle is, I believe that we're better paid. I can only speak for myself because I know that a lot of fighters keep it a secret. It's like a secret what you got paid, what you didn't get paid, what you contracted for. It's like a secret. We're not in any gag order or nothing, but for some reason it's hard to get it out of guys what they got paid. Me, I'm not like that. You know what I mean? David Feldman pays me well to do my job. And for the most part, it's up to me to make sure that I secure my future. You know what I mean? It's up to me to make sure that I make smart choices. With that being said, I do see the promotion. They fight to be responsible for the fighters. They fight to make sure the medical bills get paid. You know what I mean? I tweaked my finger one time before, and the doctor chased me around until they fixed it. You know what I mean? They did not let me leave. They followed me. You know, they followed me here. They followed me there. They contacted me at the hotel. They made sure I got everything I needed. You know, splitting me up, and they have doctors actually on scene at the fights who will stitch you up, suture you up right there and then, and they'll, you know what I mean? So for the most part, you're taken care of medically. And as far as financially and stuff like that, I think it's still too new to figure out who's who and what's what. And, you know, guys are reaching for a check, so they make it kind of hard. You got guys that'll do anything for $2,500, and it's kind of hard to compete with that. Right. You got a promotion that's trying to make it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for the most part, I can honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, I don't care what nobody feel about it, what nobody says about it, or what nobody says about David Feldman. Anytime I've called him or text him that I needed something, that I felt the way about something, or that something was urgent, he always responds and he always pays. Whether it be an advance, whether it be a doctor, whether it be a CAT scan or an MRI or an X-ray, he always, you know what I mean? He buttons it up. He don't even really hesitate. Like, he can fix it with one word. He'll be like, go ahead. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know about other promotions, and I did some MMA, and I know it wasn't that easy to get looked after. But I do know that that's for one thing for sure. I can text him and he'll get it taken care of. You know.
Right.
I don't know about the UFC. I don't know about how they treat you over there, but I do know that bare knuckle is gonna, look after you because it's a dangerous sport. It's a very dangerous sport. My particular advantage with bare knuckle is that I am trained in karate and I am trained in taekwondo and I am trained that my weapons are actually defensive tools first.
Right.
Exactly.
And you can't throw away your defense for offense. So I cannot break my hands into pieces trying to hit you with all my might like this is a baseball, like it's a baseball pitch or like it's a home run.
Right.
So even though my fights look brutal and it looks like I'm swinging and I'm trying to knock your head off, I'm not. Not. Because I don't want to break my hands to knock your head off. I need them again.
Right.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't understand that, and you'll see the difference in the fights and the fighters' levels, and that's just any fight sport. You got guys who kick their leg off in the UFC. I would never throw that kick.
Right.
Exactly.
I need my leg for later.
Right.
You ain't lie. Hey, you ain't lie. Some of them kicks, man.
Yeah, so that's like a normal thing for guys to break their hands up or they just don't know what they're doing.
Right.
Me personally, I know what to do. You know what I mean? The only issue I've ever had with my hand was in the beginning, early stages. Matter of fact, that fight that was playing when they first had the wraps that had a little mat underneath it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't allow for you to close your hand completely.
Right, it was too tight.
And so it caused my finger to stay up like this the entire time.
Oh wow!
Which made me break this little bone right here. And they felt so bad about it, and they went back to the state about it, and they changed the law about it, and they moved to like they didn't play. Once I complained about it, and I said, "Hey, this ain't right." Oh, they went straight back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? Now we don't have to wear those little protective sleeves anymore, and then wrap it with tape because it just made too much thick.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like I said, it's a growing thing. It's a learning curve. You just got to bring what you know, and you got to protect yourself in there.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Some people come, they all heart, they all fire, they all bullets, bro.
Right.
That can't be your fighting style. That can't be it. Like that's not gonna work. Hector Lombard, I hate to keep bringing him up because I actually forgave him and beat him up and moved on, got what I wanted. So there's no beef with me and Hector. You know what I mean? I got what I wanted. I proved my point. You know what I mean? I'm the champ, like I said I would be. So it's no beef there. But Hector's flaw was coming after me the way he did, all fire, all punches, all power, all nonsense. And I'm looking at him, bro, like I'm not about to let you hit me like that.
Right.
My whole body, I could be asleep, I would move. He's trying to hit me that hard. He's trying to hit me like I'm not God's child. No, I'm saying no, I'm not standing there letting nobody hit me that hard.
Right.
You're gonna have to soften that up, buddy, if you want to touch me. So that was his major problem, and most of those guys' problem is they come in there swinging like they're swinging a baseball bat, and if you're fighting anybody with any technical knowledge whatsoever about striking and about self-defense and about, you will never be able to hit me that hard.
Right.
You're right. That's true though, because you remember too. I was saying that too. Like bare knuckle really been around for centuries. It's just different cultures. It changed. Like if you look a traditional Muay Thai, they rap with screen.
Yeah.
Around their hand. They never use gloves. Screen, and play with glass and stuff. You just never use wrap at all. You like little what they call like tape, like little tape, well, not tape, but like cloth.
Yeah.
And soak it. And they wrap it up. When they finish it hard, it hardens. Like concrete. Now that's a little bit harder than a wrap you use in bare knuckle.
Yeah, but if you think about it, but even that, if you think about it from my standpoint, I see it as a shield.
Mm-hmm.
See, people thinking of it like he wrapping his hand in order to create a hard surface to hit you with. Nah, he's creating a hard surface to protect himself with. So when you go to hit it, or when you go to kick it, or when you go to knee it, he's got a shield.
He's a block.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's why I said people thinking that they think all offense, all offense, all offense. Then nobody's thinking about defense.
Exactly.
And so I've literally walked to the top without breaking myself apart, without killing myself, and preserving my face.
Right.
Oh my
You're
God.
a pretty boy, right?
That's important, right?
Exactly.
Preserving my face and all the way to the top. Right? So I must know something.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let me ask you with that, how do your coworkers feel about you being the champion and fighting? Because
I got the warmest welcome when I came home, man. I'm a pretty humble guy. I'm a pretty quiet guy. Believe it or not, there were some people that worked with me that didn't know that I was who I am until they showed the fights while they were happening.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they're like, that's...
I made a mad man one day. I gotta stop making him mad.
Like, wait a minute. Are you serious? So, like I said, I've done security in Jacksonville for years, for like 7 years. I've worked at all the clubs and all the bars. And like I said, I'm quiet until it gets crazy. Then I'm, you know what I mean? Crazy. But sometimes you have to be. And most people who've never seen me like that, unless guys get really, really stupid, then there might be a few people who actually see me like, oh, he's very dangerous. Yeah. Other than that, most people think I'm a teddy bear. They think I'm sweet. Like, guys get in my face all the time. You would think that like people wouldn't mess with me. No, people mess with me all the time. People think they can beat me up. And I just be like, please go home. Please go home.
Do you think that that's a setup? Because I know earlier in Mike Tyson's career, a couple of years back, it was like every now and then you would see Mike was cutting a check for $1 million, $1.5 million. He punched this person in the face. He's settling out here, this, that. And I'm like, yo.
I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm well known enough for people to wake up in the morning and consciously try to set me up. But people are stupid enough to set themselves up,
right,
and bump into some guy who doesn't quite look like a regular guy,
right?
But you still messed with him anyway. So I would say for the most part, and then when I do security stuff, people be drinking and you just have to see, like I said, I'm a very disciplined person. So you would have to literally jump on me to get me to do something to you. And even then, I can do things to you without actually bashing your brains in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like they said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And Mike Tyson never really had that control.
Mm-hmm.
He was all fire. And a matter of fact, if you watch his fights, he fought like the people I'm describing to you now, who try to project their strength so big and so wide that you can't see their weaknesses.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was only a matter of time before people figured out, like, wait, if I could just survive this crazy shit for a second, I got a chance. And then and that's basically, like I said, I'm the opposite of that. I can be technical. I can find some of those shots like Mike Tyson, but I'm very, very calm. I'm very, very collective. I'm very, very particular about what I do and how I do it. And I can basically have a conversation with you while I whoop on you, like I just did with Hector Lombard. And that they had never seen that before. They like, Lorenzo's talking to him and beating him up.
That's the Muhammad Ali style right there.
Yeah, I was telling you, like, oh, you definitely shouldn't have did that. Ooh, I saw that. I'm gonna get you next time. Yeah, like
that's
I said,
Muhammad Ali right there.
I teach every day. I teach at the boxing yard. I teach a class every morning and every evening at the boxing yard in Jacksonville, Florida. The students loved me. They gave me the warmest welcome. They screamed and hollered. They were so happy. I let everybody take pictures with the belt. Everybody was just,
nice.
they could believe it because I am Mr. Amazing at the gym. So they couldn't imagine that there's somebody else that was just gonna just beat me up. So they all were backing me 100%. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And it was nice to see everybody showed up, everybody showed out, and they just was like, bro, he did his job. He didn't get hurt. He made it look easy. Oh my God, he's the best in the world.
Yeah.
They said it, not me.
That's right. That's right. So what's next for you? And how many more years of this do you think that you have?
Throw a question again, George. Throw a question again.
So the years thing, like I said, I've never lived the life that most people have lived. So my body isn't the age that most people's is. Right. So I don't really count the years as far as I count how I feel. Right now I feel amazing. I'm strong. I'm fast. I'm not as strong as I was when I was 25, but like I say, sometimes too much strength just make you stupid.
And yeah.
So now I'm smart. I'm very intelligent. I'm controlled. You know, I can act crazy if I have to, but I don't usually have to. And so as long as I'm coming to work, slicing butter and making it look easy, you can look forward to seeing me for years to come.
Right.
Once they start catching up, once they start hitting me back, oh no, I quit. I'm not cut out for that shit. I'm not going to know. I'm really fast. People cannot understand how fast I am. And like when you come and see it in person, you be like, oh, I'm really, really fast. When I start to slow down, when them guys start catching up to me and start beating me up and I'm coming home bruised and right now I can't. I just fought a 5-round fight with one of the best fighters in the world and I'm clean as the day I was born. I'm still pretty. You know what I mean? The thing, I mean, my hand's this hand's a little bit swollen, but this hand's fine. And I mean, as long as I can continue to teach my craft and be very, very sharp, I'll continue to teach. Once I start to fall off and once my family start to say, hey, you know, what you chasing?
Right.
Yeah.
I'll listen. My father can tell me, he can call me right now and say, son, that's it. And that's it. You guys won't see me like that to that capacity anymore. Now, I will always maintain a gym because I love to teach. That's my true calling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will start to sign fighters to my Juggernaut Life LLC.
Nice.
I will make it easier for them to get to this point than it was for me. That's the only reason I want that job is because I feel I'll make an amazing manager. I feel I'll make an amazing teammate. And I've already done so much work that I can pass that down and I can say, hey, this is how you get sponsors. This is how you get this. This is how you make that contract. This is how I can make it easy because I already did all the footwork.
Well, that's exactly my point. You know, I mean, okay, you look at De La Hoya and what he did. You look at Mayweather and what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, the new thing in boxing now is if you're the main event, you're also the promotion company, so you get some of that money too.
Right.
Yeah.
How are you now moving into that branding phase and marketing phase and securing sponsorship phase and monies and things of that nature to take you from here all the way here?
Yeah, like I said, I'm older than those guys, so I'm not just a fighter by no means. I have my own company. I have my own gym. I'm opening another gym. And I am phasing into, like I said, I work very closely with the BKFC, helping find fighters. I go to all the tryouts. I pick the best of the best guys. As an LLC, and now that we have our management credentials, I can pick the fighters that I see that I want to work with, and I can take care of them. And of course, I'll get a percentage of their earnings, but I will make it easier for them to break into this. You understand?
Right.
Like I said, my gym will always be a source of income. My merchandise, I have a website. It's called Juggernaut Life LLC, and if you just go on there, you can buy merchandise. You can buy T-shirts, sweatsuits. One of my sponsors, Ikata, is Ikikata. They have a jacket coming out that you can buy, a leather coat with all my brands and all my stuff on it. And so I'm just transitioning into the merchandise side of it. I'm creating a pamphlet, a bare knuckle basics pamphlet for surviving in the surviving in the square circle.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be doing things. I'll be doing some motivational speaking and some basic seminars about how to get in bare knuckle, about how to protect yourself in bare knuckle, about what to expect from managers. So right now we're in that phase. As the champ, you will see a lot more of me popping up to universities, popping up to elementary schools, popping up to people's businesses, and basically giving seminars about what it took to get here.
Right.
Because people are interested. People want to know. I am the first light heavyweight champ ever in history. So I'm definitely going to the Hall of Fame. I may be the first double title holder because I am the #1 contender at 205. So when that gets sorted out, I'll be fighting for that. I'll be defending this probably first against one of the #1 contenders, maybe Joe Riggs or Dakota Cochran or one of those ex-UFC guys coming around still trying to make their mark. So I'll make a mark on their face.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just have to do what I got to do, to continue to be the champion and to secure my legacy and to build my business and to build my brand. That's
Right.
light work. The fight part is easy.
True.
The fight part is 10 minutes.
Right.
The rest of it, every single day, building yourself up, fighting through, pushing yourself, promoting yourself, selling your products and talking to people, teaching them what you know. That's the hard part.
Nice. I like that. CJ, I like to give back to community and using your notoriety. Like some people don't do. Like some fighters you barely see in the community. You barely see a champ. Like Muhammad Ali, they why they call him the people champion. He was
Right.
always into the eye of the people,
Right.
helping. And do you see yourself doing? Similar to that, like going to different countries with third world country where people don't have benefits.
Can you plug this up for me, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I'm dying.
Oh, no problem.
So I'm gonna see if I can plug this up. Is this plug up? The long one. Go ahead. You can do it. So the what I want to do with that is I've always worked with the kids. Like I said, we have kids at the gym. I work with the kids that find it interesting. I work with the kids that want to listen. Everybody has a niche. If somebody had came to my school when I was a kid talking about fighting bare knuckle, I would have been like, people never talked about stuff like this.
Right.
Exactly.
Everything else is boring. So they're like, oh, he's never going to pay attention. Nah, if he had talked about this, I would have been paying attention because I was a pretty good fighter in elementary. I was already working them. I was already working them. So like I would have paid attention. And so that's what I do. I do go to the schools. Sometimes I do go to the behavioral schools. I have done that already. Even before I was champ, I was already the champ. So in Jacksonville, people recognize me as the champ before I ever even had one of these belts. You know what I mean? They recognize me as the champ, and I'm invited to schools. And COVID kind of slowed that down. It's hard to get in places.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't trust you no more. So I just kind of got into my craft super deep and just stayed down. As things open up a little bit more and more and more, and people begin to start trusting you in the schools and trusting you with their kids, I'll do that more and more. It's just a work in progress.
Absolutely.
True. Talk about the kids. Before you go with it, talk about the kids. There is a league they started trying to start now with kids underage fighting. There's underground like backyard fighting. They actually have kids actually fighting like old school backyard fighting. Like I've seen on YouTube. I mean, you probably see YouTube, whatever. But how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about that young?
I mean, I grew up, like I said, I grew up doing karate tournaments and doing fighting and stuff like that. I personally, I don't believe in anything when it comes to profiting or children getting hurt or anything like that, or forcing kids to fight or nothing. None of that. I'm not going to sign off on none of that. As an adult, and me being able to choose what I want to do, what I'm good at, not having someone choose it for me, that's a big, big thing when it comes to fighting. You have to have the desire. You have to have the will. Nobody should ever push you into a fight. And that's another thing people don't understand about me when I'm in there. I don't care how much you boo or how much you say, go, go, go. I'm not going over there unless I want to.
Right. Right.
What?
Exactly.
I don't care what you say. I'm not going to let you push me and to get my face broke. Other people, they like when you do that. You know what I mean? You push them right over there and I'll bust them right up for you. Keep on telling them to go, go, go. That's dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You telling them, stop, stop, stop.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you cared about them, you'll tell them, no, stop. Don't do that again. For real. But yeah, so with the kids, yeah, I don't like that. That kind of reminds me of being a kid, being bullied when everybody would circle around you and push you to fight and say, go, go, go. And your heart beating fast and you're scared and you can't breathe and somebody's stomping on you, hitting on you. That ain't cool. Right. So yeah, I would never push kids to fight. My son does karate, you know what I mean? And they don't do it like they don't kick and hit each other. You know, they're just learning the disciplines and learning what it's for and learning the combat basics and stuff like that. Like I said, I did karate, learned the combat basics, learned to understand that, you know, these aren't weapons, they're shields. You know what I mean? And they're not just shields for me, but shields for innocent and shields for my family. I'm a shield. I'm not a weapon. I'm a shield. That's right. When people come after me, I'm a shield. I can beat you with this shield.
Exactly.
I can bust your head open with the shield, but I'm a shield. You understand? I'm on defense. And so that's the thing. Once you get over that whole power struggle between pushing, pulling, and hurting people versus people hurting themselves or you hurting them, like you'll be good. And kids can learn that. They can learn that you're not a weapon. You're a shield. You're a defense. You know, you should be on defense.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. I feel the same way. I feel like, for me, you can beat a person without actually throwing a punch. Yeah. You can beat a person without actually damaging them to a point where you hurt their pride or their thing, break them down for no reason. Because you know what? You create an enemy that doesn't have to be created because somebody pushing him to do something that he didn't want to do in the first place. He's just doing what somebody told him to do. Like, for instance, girlfriends are the key to getting a lot of men in trouble they can't get out of. Key trouble to get out of.
Yeah, one of our Jacksonville Jaguars, unfortunately, just learned that the hard way. There was a key point in my fight where Hector Lombard tried so hard to hit me that he fell down. You understand?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Him falling down while trying to hurt me was probably more embarrassing than me knocking him down.
Right. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And it showed just who's in control.
Right.
Exactly.
That's very important. It's very important to be in control in all situations. You know what I mean? Especially combat situations. You know.
Exactly. That's one way I didn't do it. That one I didn't. They tried to get me to do it when I was younger, but I wouldn't do it. I didn't feel right doing it. Like I did karate competitions, whatever, but it didn't feel right. You know, me trying to hurt somebody else. But what purpose? What purpose do I have to fight this person? I don't know him. He never did nothing to me. I'm not defending anybody.
Right.
He's trying to hurt the guy for no reason. And he's trying to hurt me for no reason because the coach told him to do it.
When I teach the children that are reluctant to fight, I love it. I'd rather teach the people who are reluctant to fight more so than the people who are willing. Right. And I tell them is you don't have to attack in order to learn to fight. You have to defend your spot. So this is your spot. This is your spot. Like you're protecting the front door of your house. Do not let him get in your house.
Yeah.
And that's how we start.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Protect this house. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's how we start. And that's how I start them off. I teach them how to protect their spot. And once you know how to protect your spot, you know how to manipulate your spot, I'll teach you how to take your house everywhere with you.
Right.
Yeah.
So every time I move, I brought the whole house. And now every time you move, you're trying to get in my house.
Right.
Every time I move, I brought the whole house. I'm take my defense everywhere with me.
Yeah, you're right.
You understand?
Yeah,
Instead of me attacking you, like I'm throwing the house at you, or I leave my spot. I leave my spot, and now you can get past me, or the enemy can get behind me. Now I just bring my defense everywhere with me, like a turtle.
Right.
Like a turtle. I bring it everywhere with me, and now I'm safe.
Oh yeah, see, I was a talker. The one thing I learned, I know what a talker. So if I can't talk you down, then I know I have to do what I got to do.
Right.
My first I do to talk you down.
Yeah.
You really want to do this? Your girlfriend really worth you getting what you been doing now? Is it really worth it, bro? I mean, look at her. If I beat you, she would like to love me better than she love you. You know that happen to you, bro? You lose a girlfriend and lose a fight all in one day?
Hey, you can always try to, bro. Can't we just be friends? Like what the fuck?
I know, right?
Can we just be friends?
Happy up, man.
I
Man,
don't hurt you, man. I don't look
beers.
defenseless, do I? Like, come on.
You know, the funny thing is, I was sitting there talking about that. Real quick, let me tell you, you know, I'm listening to y'all stories. You know what I do? Because I'm a martial arts instructor too. I have 2 bags in my trunk, 2 bags of sparring gear. So whenever I be like, wait, hold on, hold on, and they still talking, I'll be like, 1 minute, and I go get the 2 bags. That's for you, and that's for me. And they just sit there and they just look at me like, this dude is crazy.
Yeah,
like,
we can work this out.
Who keeps 2 bags of sparring gear in their trunk? And then he's so calm. And then this girl be pulling like, this dude is not right. His face is not right. He should be angry, but he's talking to you like he's calm. Something's wrong.
This ain't working. I'm sorry. I'm
Exactly.
battery. I'm just trying to get it situated. This charger ain't working. So anyway, that's very, very important. Now, what's more important about that scenario is your calmness.
Yeah.
So you can't fight fire with fire. Whenever you get 2 people barking at each other or going at each other, it's really 2 scared people.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just 2 scared people. And so they're each trying to prove, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared, I'm not scared. And there goes your argument, there goes your fight. It's a fight to prove I'm not scared. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
So yeah, you don't have to prove that. Now, when you're calm, that says all it needs to be said. Yep. You can usually fix a situation by just, I'm sorry, we have some technical issues.
No, we understand.
It work. All right, that's working. So you can usually fix that. I'm gonna move it. All right. Because I was at work and it was starting to die on me.
No problem.
We only got a few minutes left anymore, champ. We know you got to get back to work.
Okay, yeah. So you can usually control those situations just by being calm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's the thing. Now, when my fights, I don't know if you know this, I'm never, like, my heart's never flying off the handle. I'm never nervous. I don't get the tinglies in the back of my neck no more. And somebody asked me, they was like, bro, that's weird. Fighting's not natural. You know what I mean? You should be a little bit scared. And, you know, I do this a lot.
Exactly.
I do this so much. My heart probably beats faster when I'm not doing it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? Now, when I'm doing this, oh, man, I'm in cruising. I'm on the freeway. I'm doing 100 listening to classic music.
Right.
Everybody else is going crazy, but I'm chilling. I'm beating you up, and I'm not even worried about nothing that came off of you or the little pieces that flew away. All that. No, it's just part of the game now. You know what I mean? And we're just doing our thing, and I'm calm about it. And if you can carry that calmness into a battle, you're probably going to win.
Nice.
You know what I mean? You're probably going to win. And everything short of an act of God or something weird, or you even slip on a rock or something stupid. But for the most part, you should be all right.
That's true.
That's just the way it is, man. You carry that calmness into the situation with you, and everything works. Your strikes work, your brain works, your offense works, your defense works. Everything's working.
Right.
Nice.
Well, champ, listen, we appreciate you being with us, man, and taking the time on your lunch break to come talk to us. You know what I
I
mean?
know, right?
Definitely stay safe. We will definitely want to
Oh,
love to
wait,
have you
George.
back on the show again. You
You know,
know what
one
I
more
mean?
thing to say though, George. One more thing to
Well,
say though.
Grace, can I finish get it out first? I know I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say.
All right.
Man, man, my brother got to go to work. I'm trying to wrap this
Oh,
up.
it's all good. You know, it's all good. I'm the boss.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
He
I'm
the
the
champ
boss.
and the boss. He thank you. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm the boss.
Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time and talking to us.
well, definitely. Well, I would say that we got young tips, young fighters to get their mindset ready to prepare themselves to fight or for longevity in the fight game.
Right.
Yes, I do. And I'm gonna slow everything down just so everybody can catch it, so you can understand. Stop calling it a fight. It's not a fight. This is not a fight. No more so than shooting a basketball is a fight. No more so than swimming is a fight. Now, what makes it a fight in your mind and in real life is that if you don't know how to swim, when you're in the water, you're fighting for your life.
Right.
But the people who know how to swim, they're not fighting, they're swimming. The people who know how to shoot a basketball ain't running around fouling everybody. They know what they're doing. So if you want to get into this game, call it what it is. Make it a game. Make it simple. Get good at the game. Understand the game. Understand the ins and outs of the game, the positions of the game, the feet positions. Learn how to dribble. Learn how to move. Learn how to be smooth. Learn how to swim. And stop just jumping in the water, splashing everybody, and calling yourself a great fighter.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not a fight. It's not a fight. Unless you're drowning. Now you're fighting.
Exactly.
Fighting for your life. I'm not fighting. I'm swimming. He's fighting. He's fighting. I'm not fighting. Go back, look at the fights. I'm not fighting. He's fighting. They're fighting. All of them. They're fighting for their life. They're fighting, trying to prove they're not scared. They fighting, trying to push themselves, trying to push they power over me. They're trying to fighting to convince everybody in the world that they so tough. I'm not fighting like that. I'm losing.
All right.
The
Well,
pause.
Grace, you're breaking up a little bit, champ. I guess that's our signal. Grace, go ahead. Tell them.
Wait, we can't tell him no, we're black. George can't tell him no, we're black.
Yeah, he can hear us. Definitely good advice. I definitely didn't think of it that way. All my years of instructing, you're not fighting, you're swimming.
I ain't never said that either. That was a good analogy. Ask me. Huh? I thought that we think now. I'm like, hold on, we think how to train. No,
He said I've been trading wrong.
I'm not saying in football. I mean, football wasn't football, but it was just technique, skill, and basically being able to understand a person's weakness and
Right.
exploit it. I mean, I didn't see it like that. I mean, like, I don't see football's game. I see it as like, hey, I'm swimming. I'm swimming. They fighting to get past me. They fighting to this. So I mean, it's a hell of an analogy, man. It's a hell of an analogy, and definitely to train your mind to think opposite. It might be saving your life a lot better too,
Oh yeah,
especially learning
absolutely.
defense versus always offense. Because I would learn defense. I prefer defense over offense because or counter. I let you throw whatever you want to throw at me, but I mean, does it hit me? Probably not. I mean, because chances are I don't know what you're gonna do next. I
Right.
mean, you think you throw a wild punch. What else can you really do? Throw a wild hook, wild left, straight punch, move right, move left, move side. It's very simple, actually. It's not really hard to do. And he's true though. If you ever seen him fight, Joe, it's like watch a person dance. You put watch a person dance, you understand what steps to go to, where to step left, where to step right, how to come back, where to go in, where to go out. You understand the motion, similar to how when you teach your classes. You teach the student the same thing. You learn. Or they keep coming back.
I don't know.
I got a little juice.
I do not know.
There we go. There we go.
I
Well,
wanted,
listen.
I wanted to finish that analogy, but yeah, I heard you and I could hear you, but for some reason I lost video. Like I said, I think my phone's dying a little bit. But yeah, so with
Yeah.
that, with what you were saying, you're right. The dance movements, the way that I move is still a mystery to these fighters, and it'll be a mystery, and it's so far ahead of the game. Like I said, I'm explaining this to you as champ. 2 fights, 3 fights ago, nobody would listen. I was
Right.
explaining it then.
Yeah.
Nobody would listen. Right? Take Michael Jackson, for instance. The way he moved, it was a mystery. For 20 years, people still just now starting to figure it out. Like, oh, he was inventive. He was a skillful. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't a mistake. There's half the country who still think that I've knocked out 22 people by mistake. You're an idiot.
Right.
Wow.
You're an idiot. That's an idiot. You think that's a mistake? So when I say I'm swimming, I'm literally floating on the water, going in my destination. I am not impeded by the water. I am not drowning. I am not afraid of the water. I can go under it. I can go over it. I can stay under it. I can come on top of it. I am not afraid. Therefore, I am not fighting.
Right.
I am enjoying myself.
Exactly.
I can go backwards, forward. I'm at home in the water.
Right.
I'm at home in the ring. I'm at home in this confrontation that most people find crazy. It's not crazy to me. You know what I mean? What's crazy to me, actually, after living this life that I've lived so long, is a world without bullies, a world where you don't have to fight. I think that's crazy.
Right.
Because I've been picked on since I was a kid.
Right.
So now that I can swim, because I've been swimming since I was a kid, you think I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I just know how to swim. I know how to handle bullies. I know how to move. I know what he's going to throw. If he throws a right, guess what's next?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a left. He only got 2 arms.
Exactly.
So like I said, so to my advice to young fighters, study yourself. Learn what you're good at. Learn, are you fast? Are you strong? How good's your defense? How good's your reflexes, right? When you see 2 people playing ping pong, like the Chinese people, and they slapping that ball back and forth and it looks like magic. You don't say they're fighting, but I'll be damned. If we just put them a little bit closer together, they be slapping each other's brains out.
Right.
But they're so skilled at what they're doing, it looks like magic to you.
Yeah.
You have to make what you do look like magic to your opponent. And that's the difference between swimming and fighting not to drown.
Right.
Right.
So yeah.
Nice.
So when they say, hey, he's got a fight coming up, no, you got to fight. I'm not fighting. I refuse to fight.
Right.
Oh man.
Well, listen, brother, we definitely appreciate you being on the show. We definitely love to have you again. If we don't talk before the holidays, you have a great holiday, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
And what my favorite speech is, welcome to our family, brother. We family now, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We got your support all the way back. Got your back all the way over here, brother.
Be blessed. Yes, sir.
Bye.
Well, I told you, George, man. Got a banger, George, man.
Did you hear that advice?
George.
I don't fight.
I don't fight. I float. I swim.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to borrow that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to borrow that, man. Praise, after some 20 years of teaching, they're gonna be like, "What's wrong with him? He looks like he got a little spark." I don't fight. I float.
Exactly.
Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Frazier.
And that was Real Talk with George and Frazier. Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.